Hello everyone and welcome back to Commonwealth Realm. Today we're going to be going over the top 10 Nintendo Switch games that we have so far. We'll also be including some awesome honourable mentions at the end too. However, before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Pokemon Sword and Shield are good games, but only good enough to barely make the extended list, as this game has many highs such as gym stadiums in the wild area, but also many lows such as cut Pokemon and technical issues. For more details, check out our in-depth review of the game after this video. Luigi's Mansion 3 cast a fearful plumber into the hotel of his nightmares. If you love the other Luigi's Mansion games, we cannot recommend this one highly enough. New features, new story, co-op and multiplayer, there is a ton to love in this game.
Splatoon 2 improved and expanded on everything Splatoon established, and is no doubt the best entry so far in the series. Unfortunately for it, all the games listed afterwards on the list are games that we simply rank higher or love more. Also, we are not that big fans of shooters, sorry. Astral Chain is another example of the excellence of Platinum when it comes to Nintendo exclusives. This action hack-and-slash police adventure is filled with high-paced gameplay, solid investigations, an interesting story with great transitions from cutscenes to missions, and great music. It may not be the best title, but still, it is the best Platinum game, or at least the new best Platinum game, until we get Bayonetta 3 on the Nintendo Switch. This one might come as a surprise to some of you, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, despite added battle mode, is pretty much the same game as it was on the Wii U, only with the dual items, which isn't really a benefit at all. Despite its excellence, with the Switch's massive library, a simple remaster is simply not enough this time around to make it on the top 10. Hopefully, a new Mario Kart Switch or Nintendo card can bring Mario Kart back to our top 10 lists in future years. And on that note, let's get this list truly started with
Celeste, the highly rated and well-received indie title about a girl in a battle to survive her inner demons, is one of the best indie titles this decade. A game with brilliant platforming, simple and accessible controls, along with deeper aspects to master along the way. A true hidden gem. The game brings back a retro-style, 16-bit reminiscent graphical aesthetic that gives the title quite a charming atmosphere that everyone can enjoy and appreciate. You'll learn quickly that this game is going to be a real test and challenge of your gaming skills, throwing you into puzzles and hazards alike. Be prepared to die and use this as a way of learning from your mistakes. The wall climbing mechanics in this game really make the game both punishing and special, challenging the way you navigate as opposed to more conventional platformers. Celeste has secured its own niche and flavour, a unique experience that other games aren't really providing. In addition, you'll find a beautiful soundtrack to go along with it all, really adding to the atmosphere and overall scenery that this wonderful indie title has to offer. Perfect for indie lovers and generally anyone who's up for a challenge and can appreciate a game that's had plenty of love and care put into it. Dragon Quest XI's, the definitive edition of Dragon Quest XI ported from PS4, brings not only new features but quite literally an entire new game. This version quite literally, again, allows you to play new recreations of previous Dragon Quest worlds in classic 2D mode, igniting the nostalgia levels beyond any and all expectations. You can even complete quests in these worlds to help restore them to their former selves. Honestly, this alone would make the game worth buying. However, you're also getting a photo mode, new sound and voiceovers, battle speed selector, and the ability to use the fun-size forge anywhere, perfect for crafting. Bringing these awesome features to Dragon Quest XI makes this the perfect way to play the title, which was already a fantastic game and overall entry into the series. Even if you haven't played the series before, this is the best way to begin. It's truly the best version available on the market. Think of it as Pokemon, but way more ambitious, with better animations, better story, better environments. It's everything that Pokemon should be and would be in a perfect world. Sounds good, doesn't it? That's because it is.
Top-down Zelda faced an uncertain future with the Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild elevating the franchise to new heights. Then came the February Nintendo Direct with the reveal of the remake of Link's Awakening for Nintendo Switch. This game may not be among the longest Zelda experiences, but did Grezzo accomplish a mighty fine job updating the somber, but at the same time so good classic. The lesson here is that for Zelda, sometimes the simple is often the best, reminding us how important dungeons are to the franchise and the impact a major plot twist can make to conflict our further quest. No princess to save, instead you're forced to question whether your quest is right or wrong. In fact, this remake of the Hero of Legends adventure on the island of Koholint is so good that it is a shame that content-wise, this game is close to a carbon copy of Link's Awakening DX, with its color dungeon, but no mouse photographer, and unfortunately unfortunately without online sharing of the chamber dungeons. Link's Awakening for Nintendo Switch falls a little short compared to the next games on the list. Fire Emblem Three Houses. The game that truly showed us this year how to bring a series from handheld and back to console. For the first time, the style of battles, maps and cutscenes are in the same style and completely seamless, which granted a new level of immersion to an already fantastic series. With memorable characters and free pathways that are radically different. This game truly makes a question if you selected the right path upon the crucial time skip. In part due to its strong and memorable house leaders Edelgard, Dimitri and Claude. As a strategy title, Fire Emblem Three Houses is a return to gameplay form and creates an experience that everyone can fall for. With battle scenes that finally feels like actual battles instead of one-on-one duels, amazing moments that we refuse to spoil, and a quest that is so long that you're likely to not get through all three paths. In return, you will get real value for your money, as the adventure that awaits you in Fodlan and its bittersweet reunions is so good that it nearly became our Nintendo Switch new game of the year of 2019. Yeah, there are many remasters on the Switch. Instead, that title goes to...
Sometimes simple imagination is enough to create an eternal game, and that is exactly the case with Super Mario Maker 2, which in almost every field blows the Wii U original out of the water. The game takes all of the innovation of the first title and makes sweeping improvements, increasing the possibility for creation in almost every way. Two players can now build courses together on a single screen, providing a unique way to play co-op. You can find a single-player story mode with over 100 original levels by Nintendo, and you can of course play online, show off your levels to the world, play against other players and push the boundaries of creativity as you gain ratings from other users. Super Mario Maker 2 is a dream come true for a Mario fan, taking all of the brilliant eras of the Plumbers games and allowing you to directly interact, create and shape every aspect of every level you can imagine. Every Mario fan should have this one in their Switch library. It's a title that will absolutely have you hooked. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an enormous RPG for the Switch, possibly the biggest in fact, and it's a well worth purchase, that is for sure. With a brilliant story, awesome combat, breathtaking music and wonderful environments, it's easy to see why the game has become the best-selling title in the entire series. Using an open world design has really done the game a great deal of good, even including a day-night cycle that can impact in-game items, events such as quests, and even the types of enemies you'll be encountering. The title makes its own mark, providing players with blades to accompany them in combat with their party of 3. The character designs are amazing, featuring some truly unique individuals and personalities that are essential for an RPG to really sell the experience. Additionally, there is even a DLC available that takes place 500 years before the event of the base game, giving you even more content once you complete the at least 65-hour long main story. That's not even including the extras either. If you have the time and love JRPGs, then this is the game made for you. It's a brilliant title on the Switch that will keep you playing for hours upon hours upon hours, and soon we will also have Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered on the Nintendo Switch too.
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. Some games are so good that they deserve a top 5 spot even when they're not Switch exclusives. The Switcher is definitely worthy of this title. Undisputed Game of the Year of 2015 with more awards than any other games ever, and one of the best games in this decade, period. A masterpiece in storytelling, side quests, music and attention to in-game detail. No doubt the most ambitious game ever ported to the Nintendo Switch, with all expansions included on a single 32GB cartridge, no extra downloads required. This handheld console hybrid port, despite its graphical downgrades, is still a wonder to behold, and the quest and even greater side quests are just as great as they were on PC and other systems. Being able to play this experience anywhere and fully in handheld on a Nintendo Switch Lite is nothing but a miracle, and a sign to the commitment Star developer CD Projekt Red put to this project. Geralt of Rivia's search for Ciri and the battle against the Wild Hunt offers value that is unprecedented in the video game world, and you don't have to look further to what is included in the physical release of the game on the Nintendo Switch. Now why only the 4th spot? Simple, the game is incredible, but it is a port of a 2015 game with better versions on bigger screens. However, if handheld play is your jam, then few games can beat the Switcher, maybe with the exception of our podium.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the definitive Smash experience, bringing more fighters than ever before, delivering some truly amazing stages to fight in, refining the mechanics of the beloved series, and just bringing the Smashdown in a way that only this series can. Sakurai knocked it out of the park with this one, with a base roster that destroys any competition and DLC inclusions that end all rivals. Since what other crossover franchise can you play as Persona 5's Joker, Banjo and Kazooie, and a number of the heroes from the Dragon Quest series? The answer is none, and the best part is that the party isn't even over, with more DLC fighters inbound for 2020. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has already made history with the largest roster in a fighting game ever. Every past fighter in the series is already in Ultimate, and the new stages added for both the base game roster and as DLC are nearly all massive spectacles with amazing backgrounds. There is just so much value in this game, with a soundtrack that beats any other, gameplay pace that is a love letter and compromise between Melee and 4, and so much more. The only real downsides of this game is that the story mode World of Light is heavily overextended and the online experience has improvement potential. Other than those nitpicks, if fighting or party games for that matter are your thing, then Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a must title. A title on the Switch that you cannot afford to be without, especially when you invite to a party. Super Mario Odyssey is one of, if not the best addition to the Mario series we've ever had, taking all of the best aspects of legendary titles like Mario 64 and bringing them to a new level with modern and creative ways of playing. Travel through hugely diverse kingdoms, each with their own enticing theme, and use Cappy to literally take control of your enemies. It's the most action-packed, content-filled Mario title you'll ever find. You can play this game for hours and hours without getting bored, always finding a moon hidden somewhere you wouldn't think to look before. Mario Odyssey is every Mario fan's dream come true. The ultimate blend of modern and classic can be found, with nostalgic 2D sections that remind us all of the plumber's humble roots. This is contrasted by the beautifully modelled modern style of enemies that bring the brilliant 3D platforming that this series is known for. I cannot stress this enough, this is Mario's ultimate journey and you'd have to be crazy to miss it. The only drawback of this game are the numbers of kingdoms, as this is a game that you would never want to end. Luckily, Mario Odyssey comes with one of the best post-games in any video game here. Now then, before we get to the rather obvious number 1, let's go over a few more honourable mentions.
There is only one king, and that is a game that didn't only change the game on the Switch, but for the entire industry. Breath of the Wild's organic open air is exactly that, a game that changes the world, and just like Ocarina of Time in 1998 changed gaming forever. It doesn't matter if it is your favorite Zelda or not, this game has already left its mark on the franchise forever. And where we will move on from Super Mario Odyssey and even Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Breath of the Wild will always be remembered as the time Nintendo matured when it came to its open world game design. With a game that technically never ends, as enemies are brought back with every blood moon. You can delay a confrontation with Calamity Ganon for an eternity, because for the first time in a Zelda, scratch that, Nintendo game, we have an interactive sandbox to play with. Combine this with the most sophisticated physics engine in any action-adventure title, enemy AI that are prepared to throw their own kind at you, and you have the recipe for an endless game. I've been playing Breath of the Wild for close to 3 years now, and I still find great joy as the world truly feels alive and can be explored and enjoyed in any way you please, day in and day out. The day and night cycle in this game is perfect, and for the first time I really feel like I can live on a day-to-day basis in Hyrule. The excellent gameplay and lack of limitations is what sets Breath of the Wild apart. And yes, it has its shortcomings such as Divine Beast, fragmented story and recycled boss designs, but hopefully the sequel will address these while keeping in what was great in Breath of the Wild, and that way dethrone it. Until then, I will continue playing Breath of the Wild, and as Link, set Hyrule on fire. And there you have it, the top 10, or if you prefer, 15 Nintendo Switch games we consider to be the best on the system. Do you agree, or do you have a different order? We want to hear what is your favorite, so make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe and press that shiny notification bell as we begin our big push for 250,000 subscribers. And obviously, comment your picks. We have launched our holiday collection, which is the Inside Breath of the Wild 2 Triforce with Ganondorf, Zelda and Link, designed by Purdemonium, the same we have used in some of our thumbnails, in our channel banner, and it's up now on our Teespring store. As always, a big thanks goes also to all our patrons, which we hope you could join on patreon.com/commonrealm to support many great upcoming productions. Until the next one, why not check out one of these two great videos?